Just a quick video on the J-20. We've got it in the garage and got a little positive upgrade for it. So we've got the 360 sitting here. It's just a 2-barrel. Good enough for my son to go back and forth to school in. He essentially commutes in it. However, and when I say school, he's in college. He lives over there about an hour and a half away from here. Doesn't come home very often, but when he does, he has to drive on the interstate. And that 360, along with 410 axles, and then the T-18 with the final 1-to-1 ratio, doesn't produce very good gas mileage. He's turned about 2,800 RPM at 65. He actually backs off that to about 60. So he's still pulling 2,600 RPM, and of course just chewing through fuel. We've only had the truck for 2.5 years, and he's going to keep it for a lot longer. We've done a lot of work to it, so we wanted to go ahead and do a quick upgrade. So here's what we're doing. We pulled out the T-18 along with the Dana 20. Again with that final 1-to-1 ratio. Nothing wrong with it. Runs great, shifts great. Obviously a little bit of spread on the gearing. Good for around town, but that's about it. He hits anything at starting at 55 and up. Again, the fuel just goes right down the 2 barrels in a large quantity. So we're doing an upgrade to an AX-15 along with the Dana 300 behind it. Now, this came from, the way we're doing this is we've got the AX-15 and the Dana 300. Between the two, I believe it's either a 3/4 or a 7/8 inch spacer clocking ring. That's so we don't have to cut the output on the output shaft, and also to give us a little closer length to the original. I was crossing my fingers the whole way, doing a lot of measuring under the truck, but I knew until we got it out here I wouldn't be able to say anything right or wrong. So now the bell housings, that's a T-15/T-18 bell housing for the J trucks. T-15, they would take out the little spacer in there for the CJs, but it would still, they'd have, for the T-15s, have this deeper bell housing. Luckily I kept this one from years ago. It's from a T-176. It actually came in my CJ. It was sitting in the back of my CJ when we got it, and it's about 6.5 inches deep. This magical little spacer right here is Novak's AX-15. And essentially what it's for is to keep an AMC bell housing when adapting it to an AX-15. Now why would we want to do that? A lot of guys replace this with the 4-liter bell housing, which will still bolt up to the 360. But why would we want to do this? And it's because there's a waterfall of things that come behind it. Not bad, just different. Starter. There's a little bit of interference play going on. You've got to go get a, let's say your clutch disc. If it comes out of the 4-liter with that, no problem. But still, you're having to, the flywheel. You have to balance the 360's flywheel as if from a 4-liter flywheel. You have to unbalance the 4-liter to match the 360. Another good reason that we're not doing this is, and everyone would holler at me, hydraulic clutch, is voila. As a good friend of mine once told me, two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. Putting a hydraulic clutch in here, we'd have to get rid of the power brakes, which we could have done. Now in my CJ, that's pretty much the setup I've got. I've got a hydraulic clutch on it. But anyway, this adapter, got some pictures of it going in, but that's about it. Long story short, measured up, and the new setup is 1/2 inch shorter to right there. And essentially the outputs are about the same. So going in, we are a 1/2 inch shorter. I think we're going to be okay on our drive shafts if I recall right. In fact, if anything else, it seemed a hair bit tight back here. But again, we'll see when we put it in, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be okay. Also, for the front, I once parted out a 76 Wagoneer with the auto, and I haven't looked at the measurement on that one yet, but it's another one I have here at the house that we can go to if we need to. So anyway, long story short, 1/2 inch shorter than that one. Again, the bell housings are different. It's not as if I took the bell housing that was in the J truck. No, that's not the bell housing that's in the J truck. That's actually out of a CJ7, early 80s. You can use the T-18, which I got in this one, bell housing, which is about the same depth. The output right there of the input shaft is virtually matching to that. The diameter of the match. The clutch disc was really odd that the clutch disc, I could put it on one or the other and it seems to be about the same size. I swear on Novak's site it says that they're ever so slightly different. So anyway, this is the one that was on here, and obviously there's, you know, hardly any play, but I can come over here and put it on this AX-15 and there's virtually any play here. And I thought there was like about an 1/8 inch difference in the diameter. Same number of splines. Again, the diameter of these are the same, not a problem. So pilot bearings not having to be replaced. So again, long story short, looks like we're going to be okay. Got a rebuild kit for the top end of for up here. Guy I bought this from warned me it was pretty worn. Did have to cut the ear off here. Thanks to that good friend who actually sold us the truck. Warned me of that one. It'll interfere once you put it on. It'll go right up against here. So you have to cut this ear off. Going with the twin sticks. Son's going to use it mainly on road. He's not going to go off road very often, if at all. Hopefully he will some. And who knows, maybe we'll end up with a slight lift kit later. But for now, I think we're okay. Should be able to use the same starter. You know, nothing on the motor's changed. Just can't wait to have that 0.79 overdrive. That additional gear is going to be nice. Going to lose the granny gear, going slightly deeper gear on the 262 versus the 203. Gain some of that back for the low. Anyway, enough for this video, and maybe we'll get one of it driving down the road. I know my son will be smiling ear to ear and turning about 2200 RPM rather than 2800 RPM at 65. So shall at least save some fuel in the future. Talk to you guys later. Leave some comments. Appreciate it. Bye.